Do you think you stumbled upon this video by chance? Think again. There's a deeper reason why you are here today. Perhaps it's the universe calling out to you, whispering that this message is exactly what you need. If you are seeking to manifest against all odds, this video might just save you from a path you didn't know could lead to ruin. Today, we are uncovering a true life story from Goddard himself, a tale that reveals the dark side of manifesting when done without alignment or wisdom. Before we dive in, I urge you to watch this video till the very end. Missing even a single part could mean missing out on insights that could transform your understanding of manifestation forever. This teaching is for those who feel stuck, desperate, or willing to manifest at any cost. But if you are not ready to confront uncomfortable truths, this video might not be for you. Take a moment to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Doing so isn't just a favor to the algorithm. It's a way to spread this life-changing message to others who might be walking the same dangerous path. Leave a comment below expressing gratitude to God for the lessons you are about to receive, because when you do, you activate a cycle of giving and receiving that can lead to profound blessings. Now, let's begin with the story of Goddard, a man whose unwavering belief in the power of imagination led him to a life-changing realization about the dangers of misaligned desires. Goddard was a man of remarkable insight. His teachings on the power of imagination and the law of assumption changed countless lives, but his journey was not without its shadows. Early in his life, discovered the profound truth that what you assume to be true becomes your reality. Fueled by this revelation, he began manifesting with an intensity few could match. At first, everything seemed magical. He manifested opportunities, wealth, and relationships with ease. But what didn't realize was that his relentless pursuit of desires was not always aligned with his higher purpose. He overlooked the importance of divine timing and the natural order of life. This oversight would later lead to consequences that shook him to his core. One of his earliest manifestations involved a business venture. He visualized success with unwavering faith, assuming the feeling of already having achieved it. The results came swiftly, clients poured in, and his business flourished. However, in his to manifest success, he ignored red flags that would later unravel everything he had built. This was the first sign that manifesting without wisdom can lead to short-lived victories. The Bible warns us in Proverbs 14:12, "There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death." Story illustrates this truth vividly. While manifesting can bring extraordinary results, it must be approached with care, mindfulness, and alignment with divine will. As success grew, so did his confidence in his manifesting abilities. He began to believe that there was nothing he couldn't achieve. But this belief blinded him to the subtle guidance of his inner voice, the same voice that once led him to the truths he taught. In his pursuit of wealth, started to notice cracks in the foundation of his success. His relationships became strained, his health began to falter, and his peace of mind dwindled. Yet, he dismissed these signs, believing they were mere obstacles he could manifest his way out of. The Bible speaks of this in Ecclesiastes 1:14. "I have seen all the things that are done under the sun. All of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind." His relentless drive to create his reality became a form of chasing the wind, an endless pursuit that left him feeling more empty than fulfilled. Later realized that his desires, while achievable, were not rooted in what truly mattered. He had been manifesting from a place of ego rather than alignment. This critical error would lead to one of the most challenging periods of his life. The moment's manifestations began to unravel was both devastating and eye-opening. His business venture, once thriving, collapsed under the weight of unforeseen challenges. Clients withdrew, debts mounted, and his once flourishing empire crumbled. For a man who had prided himself on his ability to manifest anything, this was a humbling experience. But the collapse of his business was not the only fallout. His relationships, strained by his single-minded focus on success, suffered irreparable damage. Friends and loved ones who had once supported him distanced themselves, unable to relate to his obsession with manifesting. Found himself alone, questioning everything he had believed. This period of loss forced to confront a difficult truth. Manifestation is not about forcing your will onto the universe. When desires are pursued without wisdom, patience, or alignment with divine will, they can lead to destruction rather than fulfillment. The Bible offers guidance in Matthew 6:33. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Story reminds us that when we prioritize alignment with God's will, our manifestations are more likely to bring lasting joy and fulfillment. After the collapse of his business and the fallout in his personal life, entered a period of deep introspection. He began to revisit the teachings of Scripture, seeking wisdom on how to align his desires with divine will. This period of reflection marked the beginning of redemption, and the foundation of the teachings that would later transform millions of lives. Realized that the key to true manifestation lies not in relentless pursuit but in surrender. He began to practice what he called living in the end with a renewed understanding. This time, he aligned his visions with his higher purpose, trusting in divine timing and letting go of the need to control every outcome. Through this process, rebuilt his life, not as a man chasing success but as a co-creator with the divine. His story serves as a powerful reminder that the dark side of manifesting is not a reason to abandon the practice, but an invitation to approach it with humility, wisdom, and faith. The Bible's wisdom in Romans 8:28 offers a fitting conclusion to this chapter. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. His life illustrates this truth beautifully. When we align with God's purpose, even our missteps can be transformed into stepping stones toward greater fulfillment. In the early stages of Goddard's journey, he was unaware of how his ego was quietly steering his desires. Like many who discover the power of imagination, was enchanted by the idea of shaping his reality at will. But beneath the surface of his successes lay a growing attachment to outcomes that served his pride rather than his purpose. He began to manifest not from a place of divine alignment, but to prove his capabilities to himself and others. This subtle shift marked the beginning of a dangerous cycle. When manifesting becomes ego-driven, it often blinds us to the bigger picture. For example, became so fixated on material achievements that he ignored the inner turmoil creeping into his life. His need for validation led him to chase wealth, recognition, and accolades without considering whether these pursuits truly resonated with his higher self. Over time, this created a disconnect between his inner peace and his outward success. The Bible warns against such pitfalls in Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Pride in his ability to manifest anything he desired eventually led him to overreach. He began to set goals that were impressive but hollow, leaving him vulnerable to disappointment when his manifestations didn't align with his true purpose. The lesson here is clear. Manifestation must flow from a place of humility and alignment. When ego takes the reins, we risk building a life that looks successful on the outside but feels empty on the inside. Story serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that the greatest manifestations come not from seeking external validation, but from aligning our desires with our soul's purpose. One of Goddard's most profound lessons came from experiencing the consequences of impatience. Early in his journey, believed that once he had visualized and assumed the feeling of his desire, it was only a matter of time before it manifested. However, as days turned into weeks and some of his desires remained unfulfilled, frustration began to creep in. This impatience became a breeding ground for doubt and hasty decisions. Impatience often leads us to interfere with the natural flow of the universe. Attempts to expedite his manifestations caused him to take actions that were not in harmony with his vision. For instance, He once forced a business partnership into existence by manipulating circumstances, only to see it collapse under the weight of misaligned intentions. This experience taught him that true manifestation requires trust in divine timing. The Bible offers wisdom on this matter in Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything, there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Learned that rushing the process of manifestation can lead to outcomes that are short-lived or fraught with challenges. Trusting in divine timing is not just about patience. It's about recognizing that the universe works in perfect harmony, and our desires will manifest at the right moment if they are aligned with our highest good. Story highlights the importance of surrendering control. Instead of forcing outcomes, he began to focus on nurturing the feeling of his desires being fulfilled, trusting that the universe would bring them into reality in the best possible way. This shift from impatience to faith transformed his approach to manifestation, and brought him closer to his true purpose. In the modern world, the allure of instant gratification is stronger than ever. Goddard's story reveals how the pursuit of quick results can derail even the most well-intentioned manifestations. Early in his journey, initial successes came so quickly that he began to expect all his desires to manifest with similar speed. This expectation set him up for disappointment when the universe's timing didn't align with his own. His reliance on instant results led him to neglect the deeper work of self-reflection and growth. He became so focused on achieving outcomes that he failed to address the underlying beliefs and patterns that were blocking his progress. This is a common trap for many who practice manifestation. The desire for immediate results often overshadows the need for patience and perseverance. The Bible cautions against the dangers of chasing instant rewards in Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Eventually realized that true manifestation is not about quick fixes but about cultivating a state of being that aligns with our desires. This requires time, effort, and a willingness to trust the process. By shifting his focus from instant results to long-term alignment, was able to create manifestations that were not only fulfilling but also sustainable. His story reminds us that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that lasting success comes from aligning with divine timing rather than rushing the process. Goddard often spoke of the importance of listening to the still, small voice within. This inner guidance is a direct connection to the divine, offering wisdom and direction for our manifestations. However, during a particularly ambitious phase of his life, began to ignore this inner voice in favor of his own will. This choice led to a series of missteps that deeply impacted his journey. One notable example occurred when pursued a lucrative opportunity that didn't feel entirely right to him. Despite the unease in his heart, he rationalized his decision, convincing himself that the end justified the means. The result was a venture that drained his energy, strained his relationships, and ultimately failed. This experience was a painful reminder that ignoring inner guidance can lead us away from our true path. The Bible underscores the importance of seeking divine wisdom in Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. Story illustrates the truth of this scripture. When we prioritize our own desires over divine guidance, we risk creating outcomes that are misaligned with our highest good. Eventually learn to reconnect with his inner voice through practices like meditation, prayer, and quiet contemplation. By tuning into this guidance, he was able to make decisions that felt right on a soul level, leading to manifestations that were not only successful but also deeply fulfilling. His story serves as a powerful reminder to honor the wisdom within, and to trust that the divine always knows what is best for us. Often spoke about the lure of instant manifestations and how they can cloud our judgment. When the allure of achieving a desire quickly outweighs the patience needed to align with divine timing, the result is often disastrous. The story of a man who manifested wealth but lost his health serves as a cautionary tale. His fixation on riches blinded him to the importance of balance and self-care. This teaching emphasizes the importance of anchoring desires in wisdom and understanding, rather than greed. Manifesting without foresight often leads to a cascade of unintended consequences. Desires fulfilled prematurely can crumble under the weight of unpreparedness. These insights remind us that the universe has its own rhythm, and trying to bypass it often leads to ruin. Gratification that's forced is fleeting, leaving behind emptiness and regret. This chapter also explores the importance of gratitude. Manifesting without appreciating the present undermines the very energy needed for abundance. Gratitude is the foundation that strengthens manifestation. Ignoring it can weaken even the most successful endeavors. Let this chapter be a reminder to harmonize your desires with gratitude and patience. Greed is a subtle poison that infects the soul under the guise of ambition. This life shows how unchecked desires can distort perception and lead to spiritual blindness. He recounts a period where he was consumed by material pursuits, only to realize that his relationships and spiritual peace suffered irreparably. The problem with greed is its insatiable nature. No matter how much one manifests, the hunger for more erodes satisfaction. This chapter delves into the teachings of the Bible, where it warns against the love of money being the root of all evil. This experience reinforces that greed can misalign intentions and derail spiritual progress. Aligning manifestations with purpose is vital to prevent the darker side of greed. When desires serve a higher purpose, they are naturally fulfilled without harm. This guidance encourages practitioners to question whether their desires stem from service or selfishness. One of the most profound lessons lies in the power of detachment. Obsession with outcomes traps the mind in a cycle of anxiety and doubt. In his journey, discovered that clinging too tightly to a manifestation often led to its delay or distortion. Detachment is not about apathy but about trusting the process. When focused solely on the outcome, he neglected the journey, which often brought invaluable lessons. This chapter highlights the importance of surrendering desires to the divine while maintaining faith in their fulfillment. These insights also touch on how detachment fosters creativity and innovation. When the mind is free from obsession, it's open to new ideas and opportunities. Manifesting with detachment ensures that the path to fulfillment remains harmonious and aligned. Desperation is a dangerous state that taints the energy of manifestation. These teachings warn against approaching desires from a place of lack. Manifesting while desperate often amplifies scarcity, leading to outcomes that are unsustainable or harmful. Story of a man who desperately wanted love but attracted toxic relationships is a poignant reminder. The man's desperation blinded him to red flags, resulting in heartbreak and disillusionment. This chapter emphasizes the importance of manifesting from a state of wholeness and abundance. Practicing self-love and contentment is essential to avoid the pitfalls of desperation. These teachings encourage individuals to cultivate an inner sense of completeness before seeking external validation. Only then can manifestations truly enrich one's life. Manifesting at all costs often involves manipulation, which contradicts the principles of divine alignment. This experience with a businessman who used manifestation to outmaneuver competitors highlights the ethical dilemmas involved. While the businessman achieved temporary success, it came at the expense of trust and integrity. This chapter explores the karmic repercussions of manipulative manifestation. Emphasizes that intentions rooted in harm or deceit inevitably backfire. Aligning desires with ethical principles ensures that manifestations are sustainable and beneficial. Ethics in manifestation also fosters inner peace. When desires are fulfilled without harm, they bring genuine joy and satisfaction. These teachings remind us that the means are as important as the ends. Materialism is a deceptive trap that many fall into while manifesting. teachings caution against equating wealth with happiness. In his journey, he observed that those who prioritize material gains often lose sight of what truly matters. This chapter delves into the spiritual emptiness that accompanies excessive materialism. Recounts a period where he was surrounded by luxury but felt a profound sense of loneliness. Manifesting material wealth without spiritual grounding leads to a hollow existence. True abundance encompasses more than material possessions. Teachings encourage individuals to seek balance and harmony in all aspects of life. Manifesting with purpose ensures that wealth serves as a tool for growth rather than a source of entrapment. Over-identification with desires can lead to a loss of self. Teachings emphasize the importance of maintaining individuality while manifesting. When desires consume one's identity, they create dependency and insecurity. This chapter explores the psychological impact of over-identification. Story of a woman who lost herself in the pursuit of fame illustrates the dangers involved. Her obsession with public approval eroded her confidence and authenticity. Maintaining a strong sense of self is crucial while manifesting. Insights encourage individuals to nurture their inner world and stay true to their values. Manifesting from a place of authenticity ensures that desires enhance rather than diminish one's essence. Control is an illusion that many grapple with while manifesting. Teachings highlight the futility of trying to micromanage the universe. His experience of surrendering to divine will brought him profound peace and clarity. This chapter delves into the liberating power of trust. When relinquished control, he discovered that the universe's plan far exceeded his expectations. Manifesting with trust ensures that desires align with divine timing and purpose. The illusion of control often stems from fear and insecurity. Teachings encourage individuals to confront these emotions and replace them with faith. Surrendering to the divine fosters resilience and serenity, even amidst uncertainty.